All right, welcome to part 2 of the FantasyGreek.com's NFL draft coverage, the first round. The commotion you hear in the background is John Maloris and Jim Sarantias covering from the Cubby Bear in Chicago, raising money for WITs, working in the schools. Second year that we have done a draft broadcast to raise money. Last year was for City Year Chicago. This year we are on pick 27. Dallas's pick has been handed in but not announced officially.
Yeah, it's not announced yet.
At least on TV.
Yeah,
it's
Twitter's
like 10 minutes ago on Twitter, but
and you see these commercials with the Madden's they already put Mariota in a Titans uniform.
Yeah, I saw that. That was disgusting. I mean, all right, so let me ask you this about Byron Jones. Are you comfortable enough, Ben, in his shoulder? I mean, do you think that's kind of over, for him? Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the surgery was, that was a little bit of a concern, but I mean he's.
My only issue with that is just knowing that the work that he has to do coming off the line. Being able to work with his hands and kind of push himself around a little bit and to kind of gain a little bit of an advantage. I just feel like, having that shoulder long term, that's going to be an issue. It's one of those lingering things. You know what I mean?
There it is, Byron Jones.
Yep, sure is.
Byron Jones is the pick here. So, for Dallas, they had everything working on.
If you look back at what he did at the combine, I mean, he would have set 2 world records.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that you would draft Mike Mamula if you could.
I mean, if he could help me win football games.
Mamula's got almost as stubby of fat fingers as I do, which is very hard to do. I have very fat, stubby Lithuanian fingers.
We're at that point of the night where we're talking about Johnny's fingers. That's great.
Yes.
So,
and I'm really short. Jim was surprised. He saw me for the first time live, and I don't think he's ever seen a Lithuanian guy this short. I'm like the short Lithuanian you'll ever meet.
Seriously, but his hair, it's big.
Phenomenal. It makes it for everything else.
So now
I don't know who cuts it.
What this pick does, it really It kind of puts the pressure on Morris Claiborne and Brandon Carr to step up their game. Otherwise, they're gone.
Brandon Carr was not good last year.
He's never good. He hasn't been good since he left Kansas City.
Oh, so now
he had flashes of greatness, and then he's terrible.
Yeah, and it has just pretty much been a perma down at this point. You know what I mean? This just came over, made the money a little bit, and just hasn't earned it. I mean, it's all about future performance. You don't pay for past performance; you pay for future performances.
Yeah.
So the
only concern I have is we took Claiborne in the first round, and I don't want him to be another Claiborne. But there wasn't as much hype around Byron Jones as there was around Morris Claiborne.
Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, that pick, I feel like it upsets our buddy Dave here from the FantasyGreek.com. He's pacing all over the place. He is super upset by some move. I know the Broncos broke his heart tonight, but
because Detroit's picking now with the Broncos pick. So let's see who they got. In our mock draft on Monday, Jim was drafting for the Lions, and it was earlier. It was 23. He drafted Mario Edwards, an edge player, edge rusher.
Yeah, they do. They need someone to replace him. I mean, Sue's gone. Haloti Ngata, he only offers you so much. I mean, he's not, an Ndamukong. There it is. There it is, Lakeland Thomason.
Sorry, I was celebrating.
Oh, you were celebrating. You enjoyed that, huh? Is that because someone else fell to you, or what? Why are you celebrating, Ben?
Pretty much.
I'm not sure offensive tackle was, their biggest need. I mean, obviously they need a little bit of help at left guard. Right tackle was an issue with, Loradian Waddle was able to provide them. Undrafted rookie, but really unreliable when it came down to it. Ended up missing 3 games. I had a calf injury. and then a concussion. I mean, just major issue all year long with this guy.
Who are you talking about?
You're talking. I lost track of who you're talking about.
Waddle.
Who?
Adrian Waddle.
Who's that?
Oh, that would be the right tackle for your Detroit Lions.
Oh, because I got Laken Tomlinson as a guard. So I'm looking at the guards for Detroit, and
I have him as a guard as well.
Yeah, Larry Warford played well, but Rob Sims was a little long on the tooth.
He's a guard. It's not a tech.
Yeah, Travis Swanson not much either, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but he was left guard, but still.
Rob Sims played 16 games at left guard last year and was not very reliable at all. So
precisely,
it's a position that they could upgrade. And that offensive line play by the Lions, obviously impacted Matt Stafford's play. So it's at the end of the day, if Stafford can play, the Detroit offense is capable of putting up points, but there's still question marks. Reggie Bush is gone. Is Joique Bell the back? I don't think we saw enough from Joique Bell last year. Do you guys for Detroit?
He was injury prone.
Yeah, but it's been every year with him.
It's been their entire secondary for, God bless it, 4 years. I'm spiking my papers over here. It pisses me off so bad. That's been like an area that they've just straight up neglected for several years. You had Louis Delmas. He's gone. He's in, Tampa or something like that? Who cares where the hell he's at? You haven't had anybody healthy in your secondary that's made a difference for at least 4 years. At least. I mean, sure, maybe add a running back. Maybe add a little bit of, somebody on the line that's going to help help Matthew Stafford figure out what the hell he's doing back there. But, when you break it down, if you can't stop the other team from scoring points, what the hell's the point? I'm sorry, you got to add some help there.
Yeah, but Johnny, they had the third best scoring defense in the league last year. They're rated 13th in passing yards allowed.
It had virtually nothing to do with what they're able to do in the back.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah. I talk on Michigan radio every effing day.
Okay.
4 years.
Okay.
Secondary sucks. It's much like the Detroit Tigers bullpen and their back.
All right. Well, now the Indianapolis Colts are on the clock, and their pick is in. So we had them.
No. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You did fine, Dave.
Wait. Put Dave back. Put Dave back on the air.
You want Dave back on?
Put Dave back on the air.
Uh-oh. He's so excited to come back. Here he comes.
They want you back on.
He's still mad about Denver.
Yeah.
Well,
Dave.
I've been talking to experts, and they've been saying I did some thinking. I'm still not the biggest fan of this pick because Shade Ray, he's a one-trick pony. All he is a pass rusher. He doesn't do anything else well at all. But if the Broncos needed to find somebody who could make an impact in what is probably the last season of a championship window, and Elway had no choice to roll the dice, I at least admire that. And at least they got rid of Manny Ramirez, who was not a fit in the Kubiak zone blocking scheme. So that potentially opens the door up with the $3 million of cap space that's freed up with the Ramirez's trade to the Lions to hopefully get Chris Myers in case Matt Paradis or Gino Gronkowski don't show well in OTAs and trading camp to get a good center in. So that sort of opens up another window there. It's not all bad. I'm still not a fan of this pick. I would have rather had Jake Fisher because you got to keep Peyton Manning protected in order to win. And I would have also preferred Malcolm Brown out of Texas over him. But honestly, Broncos country, I seriously hope I'm wrong. I seriously hope I am wrong about my original instincts. I hope this is a home run for Elway. I'm rooting for it to be a home run.
Dave, you got to remember, you got something's working in your favor here. So Wade Phillips is running that defense this year. Okay.
Okay.
So he's shown that he can be creative enough as a defensive coordinator to make pretty much any personnel roster work. if you've got DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller, and Shane Ray all rushing the passer, we talked about this very briefly. Cornerbacks can't adjust wide receivers anymore at the line like they used to. It's very hard to play coverage. The only way you can affect the pass game is by getting after the quarterback. And you guys will be able to do that better than anybody.
Yeah, and go ahead. Go ahead, dude.
Yes, and a lot of people are blaming Peyton Manning for that division loss against the Colts. It wasn't all his fault, people. We couldn't get to Andrew Luck, and if you can't get to Andrew Luck or Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, they are going to kill you. Yeah. So I'm willing to take this chance for now, but it might come back to bite us. I have a bad feeling.
Yeah, I think don't have a coronary on me tonight, David.
Yeah, I'm trying to prevent that over here.
Have a drink, and we'll talk in September.
No, okay. No more drinks. No more drinks are allowed.
I don't even drink alcohol. So
have a water.
He's high on life right now.
Have a water.
You bet I am high on life.
and that's what the NFL draft is about, man. We were talking about that earlier, man. It's everybody's night, but I feel like, again, you might be disappointed, Dave, a little bit about the addition of Shane Ray. But, when it comes down to it, I honestly, he might have had some ankle issues, in terms of flexibility, but I feel like it's something he's going to be able to overcome. You know what I mean? It's something where, yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, he's a little bit more direct, takes straight routes to a lot of plays, and so you're at least comfortable about the decisions that he's making on field. Where, you add a guy like that on top of all those other stellar guys to your defense, and it just adds another aspect to it where, sure, you're not improving other areas, but that specific area becomes untouchable. It's just one of those deals where no matter what you try to do offensively, they're going to shut you down. And I feel like that's where they've gotten to that point where now you add Shane Ray, and now not only is you have your defensive line that's straight up set, and this makes your your deep backs and all those guys your secondary so much more comfortable about reacting and jumping on different bites and this and that. Where, like I said, everybody's more comfortable, and it makes them as a secondary look better having Shane Ray in there.
Yes, it will definitely create confusions for offensive lines. That's for darn sure.
Yeah.
And hang on, the Colts are up. I want to see if they get Gregory or T.J. Clemmings here. I think it's one of those two.
Nope.
T.J. Clemmings, he's coming for you. Watch out, Indy.
No. Nope, he's not.
Oh my goodness!
Philip Dorsett.
Ryan Gritson blew that pick. Are you kidding me? Ryan Gritson blew that pick. Oh my goodness! Another wide receiver?
I mean, it's awesome. That offense is going to be what? But I don't.
Philip Dorsett's a great talent, no doubt about it. But what happened to protecting Andrew Luck? What happened to rushing the passer?
Yep.
It could be
unbelievable.
Between you got T.Y. Hilton, Dante Moncrief, and Andre Johnson, and now you add Philip Dorsett to that offense.
That is a
this could be a sign that they might not be confident in extending T.Y. Hilton after this year.
No,
and after all, Jim Irsay.
I think it's just they have so much confidence in Andrew Luck. They're like, this guy is the future of the NFL. He's going to spread it around. Why not give him as many weapons as possible?
That's very true, and I honestly think that Andrew Luck can go down as the best ever, people. No offense, Tom Brady. No offense, Joe Montana. No offense, Peyton Manning. Andrew Luck does whatever you guys could and can do, and also what you guys can't or couldn't do. That guy is a laboratory-built quarterback, if I ever said. He is Peyton Manning's brain, Joe Montana and Tom Brady's accuracy, Ben Roethlisberger's size and strength, and Cam Newton's mobility. Talk about a freak. Andrew Luck can only be the best quarterback of all time, but he doesn't need any more weapons. Moncrief, Hilton,
he needs a running
Andre
back.
Johnson. Well, yes. Well, they should probably draft one in the next couple days or so because Frank Gore's 32. I still think Frank Gore has something left, but in a part-time role.
I know Frank Gore's the man against time, but he's got it. He can't be lasting that much longer. They got to draft somebody.
Yes, but they also have to draft some more offensive linemen.
Oh, for sure.
And they also have to draft another pass rusher because Robert Mathis is no spring chicken and Bjorn Warner is shaping out to be a bust.
I mean,
why they didn't go like a TJ Clemmings there or a Randy Gregory for a value pick, I have no idea. Yes, Dorsett is a great player. He could do great things for the Colts. That offense could easily score 40 to 50 points per game next year. But what did you say, Jim Irsay? You said you didn't want to depend on a Star Wars offense anymore. And it always looks like you're recreating that Star Wars offense that you had with Peyton Manning.
But I mean, how many times can you actually, how often can you actually trust what owners say? Like,
no, never.
No. I mean, they'll say, who was it? Give me a sec. One of the owners said that, like, we have no interest in... who was it? Give me a sec. I'll find it.
Here, general managers will lie to you all they want. And
well, we are misled often, but this wasn't a comment in draft season. This was a comment in the midst of the regular season to Jared Bell of USA Today by Jim Irsay, saying that the Colts didn't want to depend on an offense that has to score like 40 or 50 points per game. He wanted more balance.
Yeah. It's cool to get that kind of insight every once in a while. What the hell just happened on my television? There was something over here.
The Green Bay Packers are on the clock. The pick is in. Where we mocked them with a linebacker. Ben, you picked Eric Kendricks.
I'm good with that. I still stick with it.
Cornerback or linebacker?
I'm saying cornerback and inside linebacker. Those are both issues of major need for
either quarterback or inside linebacker. It's got to be one of those two because of their losses in free agency with Tremont Williams go to the Browns and Devon House go to the Jaguars. But also on the inside linebacker position, they need a guy who can stop the run better. They were Marshawn Lynch. Ignore the Brandon Bostic buff. Okay. Marshawn Lynch killed that team in the NFC Championship game. You need a run stuffing inside linebacker who could also drop into coverage, and I think that guy could be Eric Kendricks. I agree.
Yeah. They definitely need to improve the linebacking core. That position is like turning over. It needs to be rebuilt.
No, in terms of what they're doing there in Green Bay, man, I mean, all sorts of issues. I mean, you brought back, Bulaga, you brought back Cobb, Tolzien. Is anybody confident in Scott Tolzien? I know I'm not. I can tell you that right now. I mean, I'm going to trust Green Bay and, their knowledge of quarterbacks and what happens. Scott Tolzien isn't the future, behind Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Maybe it's just a backup guy, but, again, that's another issue, something they need to look on. I mean, what the hell happens? I mean, you saw Aaron Rodgers go down, and then what happens? Somehow they were able to kind of keep it together, but they scrambled for a minute to kind of figure out that route onto what it would take to kind of keep that together. And then you had on the defensive side, B.J. Raji comes back, Keon Key comes back, but then you lose, Tremont Williams, Devon House, A.J. Hawk, DeJuan Harris, and Kevin Dorsey. Most of those were on the defensive side, but you look at, so significant losses to your team, man. Those are major contributors. And here they are, making their pick.
The Green Bay Packers, the Green Bay Football Packers.
Just tell me, you jerk. You already know it. Oh, look at that.
Ooh, Demarius Randall, a safety. Maybe they think he can play corner? Do you think he can play corner?
I don't know. That I do not know about.
Oh, according to one of our sources here, they say that he can function as a slot corner, and that is very important because the Packers, with Aaron Rodgers in that offense, you're going to be playing with the lead all freaking day long, baby. So you need more defensive backs. And so Demarius Randall from Arizona State was a late riser, and they play him in slot corner on third downs against those slot receivers that you're going to face. against teams trying to catch up to you. I don't blame Ted Thompson. Ted Thompson's one of the 2 general managers that always earns my benefit of the doubt.
Well, you have to kind of have that kind of faith in there. The safeties for the Packers, Morgan Burnett, Clinton Dix, the rookie last year.
Rocks. Clinton Dix is amazing.
Yeah, he didn't rate out all that well, but he was a rookie. He showed flashes. The nickelback Micah Hyde last year.
Yeah.
So it could go either way. Like you said, you have to trust Ted Thompson. He's earned
GM.
He's earned that, So it is what it is. So that puts.
They're on at 31 to Seattle.
Who?
I correct?
Who?
It hasn't traded or moved out or nothing.
No, it's a Saints pick. The Saints are on the clock at 31.
Saints got it from Seattle.
Number 30. I got you. Or 31. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the Saints are on the clock at 31. They got it from Seattle, I believe, in the Jimmy Graham trade.
Yeah, exactly. And what's going to happen with that? I mean, obviously, they have all of their issues for the Saints. It pretty much lied, strictly on the defensive side of the ball. We have Ryan Pace, came to Chicago, quarterback guy. There was kind of maybe a little bit of temptation to move up and, grab Mariota. But, what are they going to be able to do in New Orleans? Are they going to be focused on making Breeze work in that short time period that he has? You know what I mean? Whatever time Drew Brees has is basically the remaining time that the New Orleans Saints have. At least in terms of a playoff window and a Super Bowl window. Are they going to focus on making Drew Brees better and, accentuating some of the things that make him, a solid quarterback in the NFL? Or are they going to address the defense that has been embarrassing to this point?
Yeah, they need help in the secondary. Definitely a cornerback.
Thing is, they have enough picks to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's a great thing about the Saints. They ended up, he had the other pick earlier, but in terms of cornerback, pass rush, those are the biggest things that I think they're looking at right now in New Orleans. And we'll see. I don't have a running list here, but I can't tell you. Got to work on who's our best player. Amir Abdullah. This guy, phenomenal running back. Something that they're probably not looking to address at this moment, but he's still available. He's going to get pushed back into the second round. How do you feel about that, Keith? We're guys that positions are so deep, but teams are picking their needs over who's higher up on their draft board. How do you feel about that whole situation?
You gotta remember though, Randy Gregory's still out there. You know what I mean? There's some names that are gonna change everything.
Malcolm Brown.
Lyle Collins. I know we're talking about him falling out, but if the Saints they're in New Orleans. He went to LSU. If the Saints don't believe that that's really a big deal, do they take another offensive lineman because they need it?
Yeah.
You've got Jalen Strong out there. I'm looking down the big board.
I still can't believe Malcolm Brown is still available.
Yeah, Malcolm Brown is still out there, and
yep.
I thought he was a first rounder for sure.
Oh, especially everything he proved to this point is, being a junior. You have to have that confidence going in with it. That he's going to be able to make a difference on that line. Again, it's all about, who's running the organization and who's kind of calling the shots and trying to find the right spots to put people to make them feel comfortable. That's the biggest part about being a coach and a manager, and a GM is, picking the right guys. Yeah, sure. The best guy that's available. But what is he going to be able to provide you? It's finding that difference and finding the way to make that guy make a difference. That is the biggest difference. When you look at it.
Right.
Okay, I'm interjecting with another Cowboys piece.
I love it.
I've read at least 10 articles now in the past 15 minutes about him. I think one of the best things he's going to bring to the Cowboys is competition from Morris Claiborne. What we saw last year with Morris Claiborne was, while he was still disappointing in the fact that he was injured, he was improving a little bit. But I think this year, they're saying that Byron Jones can actually play safety as well. So that gives him versatility and not only gives him a challenge to Morris Claiborne and Brandon Carr, which will, can maybe ignite something under them to play a little better. But he can also play safety. So, like, if J.J. Wilcox or, blanking, if the Cowboys get injured at safety, he can back them up there. So he's very versatile in that. And that is something that's going to be, I think, huge for the Cowboys.
And there it is, Dallas picking a linebacker. I mean,
Or the Saints.
Sean Anthony.
the Saints. Yeah, no,
That's
absolutely.
a good pick. They needed that.
Wow.
Dang, Clemson representing in the first round.
Wow.
Good for them, though. I mean, yeah, Cam Chancellor out there. Earl Thomas. He's playing free safety for you, but and a guy like that, you know what I mean? Like I said, you look at it right now. If you're watching NFL Network, he killed it at the combine. Man, he's one of those combine creations where, he showed enough to impress enough people to enhance his stock value. And right now I'm watching it. And God, it's so embarrassing for these guys to wear this tight clothing. I've never seen so many man boobs in my life other than watching the combine.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Amen to that.
Stephon
Yeah.
Anthony rated the third best inside linebacker at ourlads.com.
Yeah, our lads know what they're doing. They do. Dude
But-
pays attention to pretty much everything.
But they also have him projected as a third to fourth round draft pick overall.
Can I add something about the Saints?
Absolutely.
You might have discussed this earlier, but I actually had them taking Andres Pete in my mock,
Uh-huh.
and what I believe the Pete pick shows, and what taking Stephon Anthony shows in this first round, is at least so far and the moves they made in free agency by trading Jimmy Graham and re-signing Mark Ingram and acquiring C.J. Spiller in free agency as well. This Saints team is going to be more of a run-oriented offense, and it's going to try to take the load off Drew Brees. It's going to try to win next year by running the ball and playing defense.
All right.
What do you guys think?
I think it's smart, and I think you might see a similar play in Denver with
with C.J. Anderson, of course.
C.J.
Duh.
Anderson zone blocking with Gary Kubiak. You know what he's going to do. C.J. Anderson could be the next Arian Foster. It's
Or the
fantastic.
next Terrell Davis.
Yeah, either or. Just hope he doesn't get migraines.
Of course.
All right, the Patriots pick is in. Where do we think the Patriots are going here?
All right, repeat the question. I walked away.
Aaron
What's
Brown is what I've.
The Patriots. Where do we see the Patriots going here? Wide receiver?
They have no wide receivers. I could see Dorial Green Beckham here.
Yeah, that would be a actually a Belichick move would be trading down back to two second round picks and still winning the Super
You know
Bowl
what?
next year.
That's exactly what he would do.
Just because he's a
But
jerk like that.
somehow he would finagle like 3 second rounds and 2 third round picks out of it. So
Yeah, is Malcolm Brown projected to be like a 3-4 D tackle, or is he more of a 4-3?
I believe
Keep
what
in
I
mind the-
read about him, he was a
The
3-4.
Patriots run both.
He's
Oh.
a 3-4, dude, all day.
I'd love to see the Bears trade up and take him.
In like
Dude.
the second round.
No, right here, right here.
Here.
Not happening, dude. Not happening, man. Flowers off the board. You're looking at nothing pretty much.
I don't know if I've ever seen anyone trade up to get the 32nd overall.
Why is Bud Dupree still available?
He's not.
He's not.
He went to
went up.
Pittsburgh.
Where'd he go?
Pittsburgh, the Steelers.
For them.
Hi, John. Welcome to the draft.
Hey, I flipped through a lot of garbage over here. I can't tell you how much stuff that I've read.
Paralysis.
That I'll never give a shit about in the rest of my life.
Paralysis by analysis.
But man, yeah.
We're
So what the hell are we talking about?
talking about the Patriots. Where do we think they go? Wide receiver?
Oh, they're doing stuff.
No, well, I'm sure they are. Thanks.
Man, Roger Goodell looks like he got burnt in a fire right now. I don't know what happened on the television. This is ugly. I got a better pop than this broad. That's for
My
sure.
God.
Oh, thank you, darling.
I saw a tweet about the Cowboys that said Odell Beckham Jr. is now going to have to catch balls with both hands now.
Oh, boy.
Hashtag Byron Jones.
There we go.
I'll take it, dude. I love it.
Oh, my gosh.
I love it.
They also said that the game plan at pick number 27 with who was left was first was Byron Jones, second was running back, third was defensive end Frank Clark.
Huh.
So Byron Jones was apparently a steal.
Absolutely.
His name is like way easier to say than Owagambi
Yeah, good luck.
Wawa.
Good luck.
Oh, it was so
Gotta
great.
imagine there's a lot of running backs in the next round.
Eddie Goldman from Florida State's an option here to replace Vince Wilfork.
Yep. That's true.
Okay. Not happening, though, according to a source close to the desk. Oh, absolutely. So I would have. It would have. Oh no, they're selecting.
Oh, the pick is in.
The New England Patriots select Malcolm Brown.
Malcolm Brown.
Malcolm
he is.
Brown. Good value pick, Bill Belichick.
There's the D tackle.
Great value
There's
pick,
your
Bill
D tackle to replace Vince Wilfork.
I wanted. He's not as big as Vince Wilfork, but he's agile, and Bill Belichick doesn't have a problem drafting anybody because his system is universal.
Right. Well, he's not as you said. He's not as big as Vince Wilfork, but let's be honest, who is really? So.
You don't have to be big like Vince Wilfork to be good. Guys can be overrated at times in the National Football League.
Is Jim around?
Oh, no. Jim.
Is
No.
Jim available?
I'm not sure. I see his wife. She has her arms crossed.
Jim, I'll try to fetch him. By the way, my name is David, and it was a pleasure meeting you guys tonight.
Thanks,
Pleasure
David.
talking football, man.
Thanks, David.
I love Dave. I'm so excited.
I want to know if Jim's around. Maybe we can get like a roundabout total as to how much money we've raised.
Yeah, no, here he is. Hey, Jimmy boy. We got a guy on the air right now, and Keith is curious. How much money did we raise? I mean, we ended up giving out all sorts of amazing prizes. There's a Des Bryant Mickey helmet signed. I got blood, sweat, and chalk. It's one of my favorite ones. I have it hardcover now. How much money did we raise? We do good stuff for Wits, Chicago?
Yeah, this is just an estimate on my part. The final numbers are not in, but it's roughly $910.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was good.
That's
so
fantastic.
I'm real happy for them, and hopefully it'll be a little bit more once I know a couple people that just wanted to donate who couldn't make it. So hopefully we add that all in, and maybe we eclipse 1,000, which would be bonus.
That's fantastic. Everybody, like literally, Jim, thank you very much for organizing, doing all the legwork, and getting this together.
Worked so hard.
My pleasure, guys. It sounds like it was a great show. Can't wait to listen to it.
Yeah, there's 2 parts. Just remember. So
paste them together. Paste them together.
I can't. They only got 3 hours. 3 hours per show.
Oh boy.
So, well, folks, that will do it for our coverage of the NFL Draft, Round 1, the second annual live coverage. I'd like to thank Jim Serantias, John Maloris, Ben Franklin for hanging out. Dave Cromwell, you were memorable. Absolutely. Cromwell. Sorry. Pardon me.
Just so everybody understands that.
We'll see you next Wednesday night with the Fantasy Greeks NFL Power Hour, Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time at latenightsportsradio.com. For all those people I just thanked, I'm Keith Greer from 87sportsfans.com. Have a nice week. Enjoy the rest of the draft.
And he's the coolest. Be good.